Okay, YouTube land, what's good? This is your host from the Gulf Coast doing the most.
Doing the most.
Donte.
And Shellie.
We are the yin and yang of Short-Term Rentals podcast. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. Animal noises.
Darn fools.
And cut.
Well, look who made it back. Yo, thank you for supporting the channel. We got a bunch of episodes filled with info on how we host, funny guest story with your boy Tay, current news with Shellie, and special guest appearances. Also feature some local music artists for the outro, so make sure you stick around to the end, my friend, and peep all the links in the description. Dropping gems. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Kind of touch a base on the 2024, I guess this would be like a projected outlook, like our sentiments towards it being a great year for Airbnb or short-term rental hosting or not. I really do think that there's going to be some slowing down for a number of reasons, like we just talked about with like regulations in the counties and states. And also, I think with the economy and interest rates did come down a little bit, but I think people are going to be a lot more conservative. And also in election year, I think a lot of people are just going to be on standby. And then, what we were just talking about was the people who are prepared for these slowdowns. And like, you're going to see that there are people who either had the income before or saved the income while they were hosting. So where there are slower times, they don't have to, have that urgency to sell their investment properties because they can still cover the cost of it with less bookings. But you're also going to have a lot of people who got in the last maybe 4 years that really weren't thinking. Maybe they didn't have these exit strategies. Maybe they aren't prepared to transition to longer stays, midterm, long-term rentals. Maybe the numbers don't work, but they probably ain't even thought about these things. And I think a lot of them are going to be suffering this year, a little struggle. What's your thoughts on the outlook of 2024? You think it's going to be the same? You think it's going to get better for hosts? You think it's going to be worse? What do you think is going to happen, Shellie?
I see a lot of transition happening, but I think kind of like we talked about before with the whole sentiment that Airbnb is dead. I think that if you can ride the wave, you'll be okay. Now, like you said, the question is if.
Yeah.
But
big if.
Let's talk about some options for people, because again, this was you're like that. You did a full 12 months, right? Because we're in 2024, right?
12 months as like hosting.
Yeah.
Technically, yes.
2024. So you did a full 12 months.
I've hit my first year. Yeah, I need like a little banner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Year
one.
You
hit your first year.
Which is crazy because I got the Superhost thing like 2 days ago about it being, and I was like, man, I remember when this used to be like a big deal. Now it's just like regular. But also, before I have my guy who's here now, he was like iffy. I had January open. And last year, I got one booking in January and February together.
Right.
But when I had it unbooked in December and November, people were already trying to book for February and January.
Correct.
And I was just like, dang, man, this time last year, I was like taking whatever I could get. And now I'm like, hey, I know you want it, but I can't. I got to wait for this dude, da-da-da. I'm like, it's only been a year, but it's
a nice turnaround.
Yes.
And that's the key. So what's different? One, you're a super host, right? So when you first started, you didn't even have that status, which, as you said, is not nearly as beneficial now as it was before. And so for those that don't know, one of the major benefits before being a super host was there was a search feature where you could filter specifically for super hosts. And those are the people who have a reputation of hosting well, right? They're responsive, they get back with you, they don't cancel very often, and they have good ratings. And so people could filter specific for superhosts. That changed, as you just said. So for those that don't know, the change to that is superhost still exists, but that filter's gone. Now you have two major filters. Weird. You have some other filters, but yeah, that was totally gone. Totally gone. And I'm going to tell you what Airbnb's logic behind it, because you said it's weird.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me, too. I actually was happy because I was in the super host yet when it happened. So I was actually happy. But I remember Donte was like, what? So I was happy about it. So they created a new one called Guest Favorite. So you can filter for Guest Favorite, and you can filter for properties that have been determined as Lux properties.
Okay.
They have other filters too, Wi-Fi, this, that, and the third.
Right.
But those are kind of the major ones. They're highlighted big. The other ones are small little check boxes. So those are kind of the major ones that stand out. Airbnb said the reason they came out with that was because a super host is attached to the host.
Okay.
So let's say Donte has 4.
I'm balling out.
I see where this is
Right.
going. Yeah. Okay.
I got a bunch of properties. I'm managing. I'm over here
I
in
gotcha.
Phoenix. I'm over here in Miami doing my thing. And I'm like,
The
I
change
ain't never
allows
had
them
notes.
to focus it more on either a specific area or
The
like.
property.
Yeah, because maybe I'm really good at managing this one in Pensacola.
Right.
But in Miami and Phoenix, I be letting whatever,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Want some absentee owner energy.
Okay.
Like, I ain't
Right.
paying for nothing. Like,
I got it.
And
All
that's
right.
why they didn't get rid of the superhost situation at all. It still commends you as being a host, but they wanted the focus to be on that property.
Right.
How do guests feel about staying here? And so now I did look it up for him when that happened. I was like, well, never fear. You are also identified as a guest favorite.
yeah.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
So you have both. But yeah, so that was kind of the big kicker, the big motivator for most people to want to be a super host, because some people are like, oh, they're not a super host. I don't even want to chance it.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you're bad. It might mean you're new and you don't have any, have enough stage yet. So, because that was the case for me and you at the beginning. So I think that's one of the differences now when people are filtering, you are a guest favorite. Right, and you didn't have that last January because you had just started.
Yeah,
you didn't have any stays. I think one of the other things is they see what your ratings are. They see all these. They didn't have that. They had to roll the dice on you.
Yeah.
And
I was a gamble.
People, like myself, are not the roll the dice type when it comes to where I'm
It
gonna
is-
be sleeping at night.
It's always hardest in the beginning starting off anything.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to go through the struggle, you know what I'm saying? But it made me work hard for when I did get stuff, and that kind of standard for me and the guests, it just built. So yeah, it's a part of the game.
It's a part of the game. So I think for me, in terms of this year, I don't feel like the election's going to have absolutely any bearing. I think after the election, because you got to keep in mind the presidential election specifically is November. Right? So now after that might change how people feel. The economy might go, moving forward beyond that. But right now, I don't think that's going to make a big difference in terms of that. What the economy is doing may impact it. I'm not seeing a major shift in the overall economy this year from last year. So I don't anticipate that translating.
Okay.
The real estate market, yes, people, the interest rates are dropping for people who want to purchase. Not significantly, but shoot, anything is better than where it was for some, right? So I don't think that's going to have a significant bearing on hosting short-term stays in that way. I don't think that. But again, I did real estate for a long time, so there are always ebbs and flows.
Cyclical.
So so I don't anticipate that having a significant impact. The regulations, absolutely.
Yeah.
The regulations on short term is going to make a break. We are blessed and highly favored and fortunate because both Escambia and Santa Rosa County are very they are very short-term rental friendly.
But that's our industries in general around here. Like the whole hospitality is big. I mean, that's
Florida in
because
general.
that's where the majority of
Florida.
county and state taxes come from.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing, bro. If the money is like, it depends. Like, if the money's good and it's like you ain't got money coming from anywhere else, you got a lot of leverage. That's
Right.
What, we got the leverage of being like, you work with us, you work with us, we work with you.
Please govern yourselves for their church announcements.
Wow.
We'd like for you to hit the like button. It helps us with the algorithm, especially for a new channel like us. And Donte's experienced a lot of rejection, so he needs some likes in his life.
Somebody like me, please.
Also, please subscribe. Hit the notification button so you'll know when something new drops. Our giveaways are specific to our subscribers, so please subscribe so you can participate.
And ask us some questions. Leave us some comments.
Don't forget to share, because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if it will have a super direct impact on us, but I'm going to tell you something that Floridians probably should be concerned about.
Okay, drop it on us.
All right.
This Disney squabble
Yeah.
that
don't know.
has been
Hold
going
on.
on with our governor.
Oh, I don't know about this. Don't roll your eyes, Shellie. Don't roll your eyes, ladies and
This you
gentlemen.
should know about.
This you should know.
It's been everywhere.
All right, hold up. Give me the 30-second recap. Can you give me a 30-second recap? What's
All
going
right,
on with
so
Disney?
here's the
We talking about
Cliff Notes version. Because of some political decisions that were made impacting schools and homosexuals and things of
Don't
that
say
nature.
gay stuff.
There you go. The
that.
don't gay. I can't talk. Let's try that again. The don't say gay. The taking literature out of the schools.
right.
Things of that
Yeah, I've been
nature.
hearing about that.
Disney made a statement that they didn't agree with it. At that point, things became different with our governor, and so there were moves made where Disney has been their own little.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just to preface this,
Yeah.
for decades now,
Yes,
Disney
forever.
has had their own special tax status within the state because of how large they are and how much revenue they generate.
It's like
and
their
all
own
that.
little like
Their own little
city.
their own little-
Yeah, basically,
yes,
yeah. Kind of like how the Vatican is their own like
Yeah,
country, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's how Disney is within Florida.
Disney is the Vatican of Florida.
You heard it here first, folks. But since Disney, with how large they are, is outwardly and very publicly speaking out against the governor's actions, he doesn't like it, and he's threatening to take away that special tax status. And he's been doing so for a while. And there's been a lot of back and forth for like a year and a half now. Yeah, something
over
like that.
a year.
And,
And where
yeah.
that's going to hurt all of us in terms of Disney is that any hotel, lodging, Airbnb, hotel, motel, holiday Inn, right? Any of that, okay? Anything in that realm, people don't just go in the middle of nowhere just to stay in your spot.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have a reason to need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
We are a type of business that is contingent upon something else.
Yeah.
Okay? So you need a demand generator. Disney is a huge demand generator for the state of Florida.
Absolutely.
Even for us, we've talked about how many people were traveling through and just stopped here to stay en route to somewhere else.
Yeah.
I've had people where we were the en route to Disney for them. I've had those guests, right? So I'm driving from Texas or wherever, stop here, crash for a night or two, let the kids stretch out, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Then we
yeah.
jump back on the road, then we get there, and hey, if it's available coming back because we enjoyed our stay, we want to hit you on the way back too, right?
Yeah.
So if we had no Disney, those people would have had no need to come.
For sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So even though we're not necessarily in the Orlando, Kissimmee immediate area, there is an impact for all of us.
Yeah.
So, and you got to keep in mind, a company as huge as Disney, Florida is not their end all be all. You know how many other states are drooling for the opportunity to come here.
And
Nobody's
Disney.
coming to South Dakota.
Yo.
Come here, Disney,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
No one's coming over here to, Wisconsin. We'll take you, Disney.
Right.
Like
If Disney was to jump ship from Florida, that would be probably one of the biggest things that happened in my lifetime.
biggest in a negative way. So, in terms of your business,
That would be.
so. And I'm not saying we would, because again, we're not the immediate, the ones who were straight up in that area doing
Right.
it. Oh, they need to be praying and voting.
Oh, yeah.
But I think all of us would feel some sort of impact. We
Yeah.
have other things. We got Universal Studios. We got SeaWorld. We got da-da-da. We got other things. But Disney by far is one of those major. You got our beaches and you got Disney. Those are probably one of the top two demand generators for tourists.
I mean, because
in the
that's
state.
family.
sure.
Like, you know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And this is a thing, in my opinion, where you have to, the versatility and the variety that I try to incorporate into my life is why in my businesses I'm trying to involve that as well. Like, my spaces aren't just for a certain type of group, a certain type
Correct.
of traveler, stuff like that. Because if that one thing that is connecting them to go into your spot is gone, you're going to see a significant drop in your revenue. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So, like, when I got this spot, I knew, like, these are the demographics I'm going to target. But when the midterm rental option came open as well, I was like, I wanted to work for that too.
Absolutely.
Because I was like, if something happens and I just need to go to that, I am already prepared to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think people who are getting into these space as any type of investments, like, you have to have this multiple exit strategies or strategies of, like, being flexible, being able to adjust to the tides. Because it's like, if you were just banking on riding Disney's coattail because you thought Disney was gonna be here forever, it's like, think again. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
In California, they probably had businesses out there for a long time. As soon as those laws changed a little bit, they jumped ship.
Absolutely.
People went to Texas. People went here. People went there. Like, it can happen. It can happen. So,
Right. And there are other states who will welcome them with open arms.
oh my goodness,
To get that revenue for sure, because again, that's revenue for the state.
that's jobs.
So
that's
that's
litter.
jobs,
You're-
that's
Billions
So
of dollars.
politicians are
Correct.
like, I'm going to be the hero that brought jobs to my
Absolutely.
da-da-da.
Which
Yeah.
means
There are gonna be
I'm
so
gonna
many
be
incentives to these
elected,
people.
reelected. Absolutely. So those are the things that you have to think about. So in terms of this space, and again, me knowing that, coming in. Now again, we're not again in that immediate surrounding area. We got some other things. For me, I got the base. You got the base. We got some other things.
I'm going to
We
get
got
a
the
game
beaches.
bus.
We got, oh my gosh, we got some other things that can do. So for me, it's just what you said. It is about being multifaceted in your business.
And you did, kudos to you for doing the event space as well with
Oh,
yours. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, we
Yeah.
haven't really talked about that much, but when you were doing it, I was like, that's going to be great. And then even the other ideas you had with the garage and stuff, like when I was listening to the Fantasia story with the game truck, I was like, that would be a cool thing. Even if you want to deck out your garage, you can just have that there.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, absolutely. Those are, and
As long as the neighbors don't, the HOA.
and so HOAs are one of the things that can and will be an issue. All of those are the regulation things that I think will impact the short term rental space far more than the election or any of those types of things.
Yeah.
I think those are the things to keep watch on. Those are the things to be involved in your community so you can have a voice.
Yes.
Right.
Those are the
for
things
sure.
to focus on in terms of your business. Like you said, I've looked at some other options in terms of mine. And for me, the easiest thing, the absolute total easiest thing is to shift gears from short term to longer term.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the no-brainer. Yeah. And people forget that people rent furnished spaces.
Yeah.
People forget that. That's a thing. You
Is
know?
That's
Still recording?
it was.
Oh.
So that's people do that. So I mean, you got a longer term person, I got a long term person in right now. That's easy breezy, and that for me is my next niche of, hey, you can PCS into the area, military, you could try to find lodging on base, you know, the base could put you in a hotel, or you could be comfortable over here.
Yeah.
And stretch out.
For
You know
real,
what I'm
because
saying?
and I was when my guy was like questionable, I was kind of looking forward to diving into that pool because I was just like, there's not a lot of options in our area yet, and there's a lot of traffic. Like I looked at some site that talked about people who pull it up in searches, and I was like, if you have a good spot,
Yeah.
it'll do well.
It will
Yeah.
do well. And then get it out there to that community. You know, for the holidays, I had locals who rented my space for the holidays, both Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Because that's a thing. That's probably a growing thing. People will be willing to like stay in the same area and just rent out a house and be like, we're gonna have our events and things here, because it's like instead of me doing all that work preparing and us not being comfortable, we can even split the cost with other family members.
Yeah, and it's about space.
Yeah.
It's about right now. You'll know Pensacola probably more than me, but I know in Navarre, you want to rent a 1-bedroom apartment, you're talking $1,300 easy.
You gotta tell me.
Yeah. My boy Anthony over here. Y'all can't see him, but we've had discussions about the struggles of renting and owning.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, that's so.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a 1 or 2 bedroom space or whatever. And if families want to come together for the holidays, I want to come to your house.
they want to come to Florida.
There's
What
not
a
enough
little.
space. So I know the person who rented my space for Thanksgiving. They're in a 2-bedroom, and so you got people coming. And man, it's tight already with the 2 bedrooms we have.
Yeah.
And so small galley kitchen, you can have multiple people in there cooking. So they wanted to rent it. And so they were like, we just want to rent it for the week because folks going to be here for the whole week. And like you said, they were able to split it and everyone was comfortable. They were comfortable. The kitchen was adequate. They had this, da. Everybody was able to do their thing. And then they were able to roll out and leave, not even worrying about, we got to do all this. Cleaning people going to come in and handle stuff. And then they went on back home. And then those people went back home. They told somebody else. Or actually, no, they invited someone else. Who their Thanksgiving plans kind of fell apart. So they said, hey, come over here for Thanksgiving. That person was local. So then they were like, come Christmas, we want to do the same thing. So I think we have plenty of opportunities, particularly in this area, where we can still work that out. And so whether it be short-term, long-term, midterm, the key is there's not enough housing.
Yeah.
And because
Really
of
isn't.
that, I don't think 2024 is going to be horrible for us.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's only January. A lot's going to be going on. A lot's already going on, from my boy Cat Williams to Disney to all these things going on. You know what I'm saying? It's an act. It's going to be an act. I think there's going to be a lot of tension. A lot of people tense. But if you're smart, if you game plan, if you are willing to be more creative than most, chaos, downturns can be golden opportunities for people who are positioned in the right way. So prepare yourself for whatever and stock up your money. Don't overspend this year is my recommendation, and continue to provide quality goods and services. and maybe try a new one. Do some research, see what your area could use, and add that to your current investments, and you could have maybe your best year while other people are getting out. So good luck with everybody. And any other follow-up thoughts on the year outlook for the short-term rental space?
Nah, ditto.
Okay.
If you can ride
Agreed.
ride wave.
Yeah.
We surfing, baby.
All right, y'all. Till next time.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah.
No VVS on my neck, probably cost more than my check. No disrespect, I just ain't flexing for them fools on the net. Question the setting, yeah, but you can't mistake the value. City sleeping on me like they hooked on volume. Catch a wave or float away. Sick of sitting sideline, I made a play. Anxious about opinions, they gon' hate me anyways. Either rise to the occasion or you caving like souffle. Attaché, no Hemingway.